studying Michel Bakhtin, after studying Adam Smith, they have understood that yes, this is good. And after studying Adam Smith's economic theory, one can be influenced. So that influence can happen spontaneously in one hand, and another influence is that whenever anybody will go to study the text, then he can also be influenced. We don't know how William Shakespeare was influenced by the southern part, but we don't know how John Milton was influenced by Italy and Germany. But we know that this influence will work into different ways. One spontaneously, that means after Romanticism, after Renaissance, everywhere there was some tendency spontaneously. Every people of the world accepted that ideology and started to write and started to react on the basis of Romanticism and on the basis of Renaissance. And another thing is that for the purpose of study, if anybody goes to study that perspectives of thought, we will be. So Shal is speaking about the influence of thought, influence of some loving things, influence of some exalted things, just like Renaissance, Romanticism, materialism, scientific development. So that influence can happen into different ways, spontaneously and also for the cause of study. Okay, all submitting to influences. Anybody? Okay. You come exactly in the class. You follow a different lifestyle. You follow a different fooding habit. Everybody. And everybody, in case of comparative literature, it is said, Shal said that in everybody's life, everybody is influenced by someone else. You may be influenced by your parents or something else. So Shal said that there is the influence. All submitting to influences, which they accept like gifts. So the artistic Italy. So if you visit Madame Tussauds, if you visit art gallery of European countries, if you visit Mona Lisa, okay, so you will be influenced, and that influence, Shal said that it is like the gift you will be expecting, and after getting some inspiration, that inspiration accept like a gift, and all in turn emitting new unforeseeable influence in the future. Look here, Madame ফ্রান্সের যে মিউজিয়ামে লুভ মিউজিয়াম, সেই লুভ মিউজিয়ামে মোনালিসার ছবিটা আছে। যদি বলা হয় যে আসলে যে ছবিটা ওখানে কোনটা অরিজিনাল, ফ্রান্সের কোন মিউজিয়ামে মোনালিসার ছবিটা আছে? লুভ মিউজিয়াম। যদি বলা হয় যে যে ছবিটা টাঙানো আছে এটা আসলে অরিজিনাল না, কারণ অরিজিনালটা থাকলে অনেকে চুরি করে দেয়। In case of comparative literature, it is said that if anybody goes to visit Mona Lisa will be his or her inspiration. What type of inspiration? Just like a gift. We see that Rabindranath Tagore পড়েছিলেন ইউনিভার্সিটিতে যান, নজরুলও তাই, কিন্তু তার কবিতা কত পরিমাণে যে পিএইচডি ডিগ্রি হয়েছে নজরুলের কবিতায়, রবীন্দ্রনাথের কবিতায় বা লেখায়, তারা inspired. And if you go over there to watch Mona Lisa, and that Mona Lisa can be an inspiration of your creative thinking. And after getting inspiration with that Mona Lisa picture, next time that inspiration will be expressed in future. Just like William Shakespeare was inspired by the southern part of France, and next time William Shakespeare's writing inspired the successive writers. That is the new case of influence in comparative literature, and that influence can be called a gift. The word influence in the previous slide gets recognition as an important characteristics of comparative literature. Actually, whenever you will be going to discuss the French School of Comparative Literature,
then you have to talk about influence. And most probably you have heard, যারা ঘুমাচ্ছেন তারা বাদ দিয়ে, you have heard and you have learned what is influence. So the word influence in the previous slide gets recognition as an important characteristics of comparative literature. So in our previous class we have learned that is comparative literature had been comparing literature either thematically and stylistically, but here we have got another key point of comparative literature. What is the key point? That is the influence. That means the influence a national ideology or a national thought can influence other and vice versa. Others' national spirit or ideology can influence other. So Charles refers also to the spirit of a nation or of a people who suggest how spirit may have influenced another writer in another culture. So if we visit Mona Lisa from Bangladesh, you will not be inspired. It's not like that. So a great art, a great ideology can influence the writer of any country of this world or any culture of this world. So Charles paints an idealistic picture of international literary harmony. International literary harmony through the influence. যদি একটা সাহিত্যের দ্বারা বিশ্বের যে কোনো মানুষ প্রভাবান্বিত হতে পারে, তাহলে তো আর লিটারারি পিচ হচ্ছে কোনো একটা দেশের হলো কোনো সম্পদ না, এটা হলো আসলে ওয়ার্ল্ডের সম্পদ. So through the comparative literature, Saul mentioned that actually idealistic picture of international literary harmony. There will be a linkage among all literature of this world. And that linkage can be thematically, linkage can be stylistically, and the third portion we have learned that linkage can be on the basis of influence. He suggests that historical reality of nation to nation is different, but the mutuality of the influence and the connections are same. History of country is different, but the mutuality, that means the mutual linkage, the mutual affinity. Linkage means the similarity, and affinity means the close relation between literature and connection that is obvious according to Schall. And Schall put focus on influence, and that is the basic tenets of French school of comparative literature, and how influence can be taken as a gift, and that influence can influence the other writer, literature and culture. Thus the term comparative literature was first originated in France. Okay, because it started in 1816 by the comment of some French critic, and we can also say that French thought of comparative literature is mainly pinpoints different kinds of influences that are derived from culture. So influence from where it will be getting that influence. Influence can come out from culture, from religion, from sociology, from anthropology, art and architecture, warfare, and also friendship. Okay, so France is the first country who originated the term comparative literature, and French school of comparative literature also initiated the idea of influence, and that influence derives from culture, religion, sociology, anthropology, art, architecture, warfare and friendship. Even any person can be influenced the mighty expenditure of Alexander the Great, isn't it? So warfare sometimes can be a part of influence, isn't it? So that is culture and national. So in this part, actually there are some other slides, but we are not supposed to. So let's conclude in such a way, that is, the term comparative literature came into existence with the idea of some French critic, and that was in the first half of 19th century. And what did French school of comparative literature say? The French school of comparative literature will be dealing about the influence, and from where we will be getting the influence. Just for an example, that William Shakespeare was influenced by the southern part of France, and John Milton was influenced by Italy, and German. In the same way, so influence, from where influence will come? Influence will come from culture, religion, sociology, anthropology, art, architecture. Question might come. Okay, question might come in such a way that French School of Comparative Literature. If it is so, that if you are in a position to write that the French School of Comparative Literature, what you have to write? You have to write the things that I have told you in this class. Okay. So, thank you for attending the class.